Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. I'm super excited to be having this conversation. I've been wanting to have conversations with people for a while. I mean, I have conversations every day, but I've been wanting to do fun conversations on Facebook Lives, kind of like a blog post or kind of like a YouTube channel. But I think Facebook Live is a great way to interact with people, start conversations. Hey Robert, thanks for joining. I'm gonna wait for my friend Justin to jump on. I can invite him on, but I'm looking. And hey Joe, I would love to have a conversation with you. So anyone who has exciting topics that they're passionate about, that they would love to talk about, I'm wanting to feature 2 to 3 different people a week, just talking about different topics that people are passionate about. And the topic today is about dating yourself and how you can manifest your dream partner. A lot of us, hey Robin, hey Joe, thank you all for watching and jumping on. Oh, and there's Justin, so I will go ahead and add him on. Cool. Let's see how this. I've done this once before, so hopefully, um, I think it's working. Hopefully, but so we're gonna be talking about manifesting your dream partner, and Justin has a great story to share.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, Jessica?
Oh, awesome. The last time I did this, I had my screen flipped the other way. So when the other person joined, it just kind of made them like a little tiny square at the top. So I decided it was better to do it this way. So I'm glad we have equal share now. So I'll
Nice.
have to turn mine a little bit. How are you?
I'm outstanding. I had a great day. How are you doing, Jessica?
I'm doing really well, and I'm so excited to have this conversation. Um, I was just telling everyone, I've been wanting to have conversations like this with people for a while, not just about this topic, but just starting conversations on Facebook. I mean, I think a lot of us have things that we're passionate about, and Facebook is a great place to interact with people and share ideas, and that's what I love doing. And so this is a great way to notify people when you're having conversations, and then people can always go back to it later if they missed it. So
Yeah, it's an
I've
amazing
been
tool that we have with technology, isn't it?
Right? Yeah, I love it. And so I've been wanting to have this conversation with you because I remember you telling this story when we were in Peru. And actually, I had heard about this because Justin and I are connected through our 555 Thrive Tribe group in the morning. We get on a call at 5:55 a.m. together. It's all about keeping each other accountable for our morning activities, meditation, affirmations, journaling, reading, exercise, and visualization. And so he had told me this story, or told all of us this story, about how he had manifested his beautiful partner, Jen, by dating himself. And a little bit about Justin: he's a life coach with Tony Robbins, he's an amazing entrepreneur. And yeah, he's got a lot of wisdom. So would love to hear your story on that.
I feel so honored. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Yes, it's true. We met down in Peru, and I shared the story while we were in a circle one afternoon. And it's a story that I love to share because it was true. And when it happened, it was almost like a miracle. You know, you'll hear these people go, well, this is what happened, and this is how it played out. And this is true. Like, this is real life. 7 years ago, I was blessed, and I'll say I was blessed to go through a divorce, a separation and divorce with my wife. We were married for 12 years. We have two beautiful children. And sometimes in a relationship, it just doesn't work out. And there's going to be a time when you say, this is it. I need to go another way. And at the time, I used to weigh 288 pounds. So I lost 100 pounds in 10 weeks, which is another
Wow.
story. I used to smoke pot every day for 16 years, and I quit the pot, started working out, started getting into self development. And when you have a partner, a significant other, and you start to change, if they don't start to change, all of a sudden, you know, you start to go in different directions. And at first, it doesn't
Right.
seem like much, but you know, a year down the road, you're in a whole different area. And that's what happened with me and my ex. So I decided that that was it. I wasn't showing my two girls, my two daughters, what a loving relationship was really about. And for me, I didn't want my daughters to grow up not knowing what true love and a true giving and loving relationship was all about. So that was my big leverage to go, this is it. So when the divorce happened, I lost my identity because I was the other half of a relationship. And now I'm not living at my house. I'm not with my kids every day. And I was shattered. You know, it was really painful. I remember the day that I went to the lawyer's office to sign the divorce papers, and I sat in my car in the parking lot downtown in the city we lived in, and I cried. I cried because I was like, am I doing the right thing? And I got a phone call from a good friend. She said, listen to your heart. Listen to what your heart says. And my heart said that this is the right thing. And the divorce happened. And after the divorce, it took some time for me to get back into dating because I was like remorsing. It was a new identity. I was discovering who I was. Now I've got all this new time on my hands, and I wanted to do the things I always said I would do. Like I wanted to learn how to play guitar. So I went to the music shop and bought a Yamaha guitar, and I sat in my RV at the time learning how to play guitar. And I wanted to learn how to speak Spanish. So I took Spanish courses, and I took time to do things for me. And I also wanted to start dating again. So I started, looking online and doing what we do nowadays typically is go on to online dating sites. And I went out on a few dates, and I discovered something. I kept attracting the same type of woman as my ex-wife. And I'm like, what's the common denominator here? It was me. I was the common denominator. So if I kept on attracting the same type of women into my life, I'm like, what am I doing? And I took a break from dating altogether. At one point I said, you know what, maybe I'm not meant to have another partner. Maybe I'm meant to be single all my life. And I said, I'm just going to take time and date myself. And a friend said, well, what do you want in a woman? Like, are you clear what you want in a woman? I'm like, oh yeah, she's got to be good looking. She's got to work out. She's got to be really fun. And then after those three, I was like, that's it. And she was like, that's it? And she's like, those are your must-haves? And I gave it some serious thought, and I sat down. Whenever I'm in a spot of I don't know, I recommend you sit down with a pen and paper and push the clarity button and get really clear. I'm sure, Jessica, I know that you journal a lot, is that when we journal, the truth comes through us. And that's what happened, is the truth came through me. And I started to write down what were my must-haves in a partner. What were they? And I didn't worry about what I wrote. I just wrote, she's got to be this. She's got to have this. She's got to love kids because I have kids. She's got to want to play guitar because I play guitar. She's going to want to ride a bike. And I started going through all these must-have journals of what the perfect woman would look like. And after I wrote that 3 pages, I then started going, well, what are my must-haves? What are the non-negotiables? What are the things that you need in a partner? And when I got down to that list, there was 5 things that were my must-haves. My must-haves that no matter what, she's got to be. She had to take care of herself. She had to be healthy. She had to care about her body. She had to be into self-development, like wanting to grow. If you're not growing, you're dying. So you've got to be able to grow, and she's got to be able to be adaptable. She's got to love kids, right? Because I have 2 girls, little girls. You don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to have children. You want to be with somebody who loves kids. At least if they're not their own, they love other people's kids, So those are must-haves. Another must-have was she's got to love to travel, because I love to travel. Yeah. She's got to be outgoing. And the 5th one was she's got to be happy. She's got to be smiling. She's got to be bubbly. And you know who my ultimate woman ended up being, and I'll talk to her about her in just a little bit. But she's known as Smiley. That's her nickname, Smiley. So those are the 5 must-haves that my dream woman, that perfect partner, had to have. Those were my non-negotiables. Then came the really important part. This good friend of mine who introduced me to the system said, now are you living up to them?
That's the biggest question, isn't it?
Are you honestly living up to them? And I wasn't. I wasn't 100% to where I thought I could be. And so I had to take time. I took 8 months to date myself. I dated myself. I bought myself flowers because I love flowers. I'd go to Costco and get a dozen roses, or I'd get a dozen of their mixed bouquet, I should say. One or the other, and I'd buy myself flowers. I love flowers. My background is greenhouse horticultural design and operation. I love things that grow. I love life. So I buy myself flowers. Then I took that time and did the guitar lessons, learned to play guitar. I took time and went on walks on the beach. I took time and dated myself, and I made really nice dinners. Dinners that I loved, that I enjoyed, that were healthy. I learned how to cook more healthy. I learned how to, get really into my vegetables. I took so much time for myself, and I dated myself. And during that time of dating myself, I took time for my children too, because that was one of my must-haves, wasn't it? For somebody to love my children and be devoted and enjoy spending time with them. And to be honest, I wasn't spending the quality. There's a difference between quantity and quality. I was spending quantity time when they were with me, but not quality time. I was on my cell phone. I was doing business. I had 3 companies, and I wasn't being as present as I could be with my children. So if I wanted a woman who could be present with my children, I had to be present with my children. So I took this time to date myself, and it was the most beautiful, magical experience. I loved myself, and I never used to say that. And I would be like, I love you, man. I love you. I look in the mirror, I'd say, I love you. Matt Kahn, who I know you like Matt Kahn's work, he's like, I love you. I love you. It really works. So I took that time, dated myself. We live by the ocean on Vancouver Island. So I'd go for long walks on the ocean with the dogs. I snowboard. So we live at the base of a ski resort called Mount Washington. So I'd go up to the ski resort, and I'd go put my tunes in, and I'd go snowboarding and just get into the groove and just love my life, love being active. And I got to a point where those 5 must-haves were being met at the level of being not 100%, 150%. So I dated myself. Now I got clear on the 5 must-haves. I took the time to date myself. And I got to those areas where I'm like, yeah, I'm really being the best dad I can be. I'm being the best me I can be. I'm learning, I'm growing, all of those. And there was one piece that was missing. I needed to create space in my life for that person. Because as you know, we ask the universe for what we want, and the universe will provide. But if we do not make space for that in our life, you're not going to have the time. The universe is going to go, oh, well, if you say you're busy all the time, I'm busy, I've got work, I've got, all my extra activities. Well, where do you have the time to date or to meet that special person?
Right.
So I made space and time in my life, literally, for that special person. So when I was cooking those meals, I would set it at another place setting for that special person. And that's what I called her, the special person, because I didn't have a name. It was just the special person. And when I go to bed, we're all creatures of habit, aren't we? We tend to usually sleep on the same side and do the same things. So I sleep on the left side of the bed, and on the right side, I had to think about that. On the right side of the bed, I would turn back the covers when I'd go to bed to invite the universe to bring me that special someone.
Oh my gosh, how cute.
I have 2 dressers in my bedroom, and I took the one dresser drawer out and I dumped it out, and I put a sticky note, a Post-it note that said, this area is for that special someone, and I put it in that drawer. So it would invite the universe for her. I also have a walk-in closet where I took an area of a walk-in closet, took my clothes out, left bare hangers in there, and I hung another note that said, this is for that special someone. And my love of my life, Jen, still has those Post-it notes that said,
Oh my
this is
God.
for that special someone. So I opened up time, and I opened up literally space into my life to invite that person in. Now, keep in mind, I haven't met her yet. I haven't met her. I'm waiting for the universe to bring her into my life. Now, we can wait for, the universe to bring in, but we also have to take some kind of an action towards it. We have to move towards it.
Right.
So that was it's been now 9 months of working on myself, dating myself, getting clear on what I want and the must-haves in that woman. And now I needed to go out and actually take some action. Boots to the ground is one saying. I needed to actually do it. So I started going out to date. Now, in these crazy times, going out to date isn't like it used to be in the 60s and the 70s at the ball dance and stuff, right? So I'm not a big drinker. I don't like the bar scene. So I went back to technology. And I started to look through different dating websites, Match.com, different more higher end websites, although I dipped into the Plenty of Fishes and the slide left, slide right, but that wasn't what I was looking for. And I found this image of this woman who everything that she said she wrote a list like this in her comments, and it was like she read my list and wrote it. And she's like, I love children. My name is Smiley. I love to smile. I'm positive. I'm into personal. I love outdoors. I stay active. I eat healthy. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, thank you. And she was on 2 websites for pictures. And I'm not sure, did I ever share this with you, this part of it, Jessica?
I think maybe, but I don't remember the exact details.
I'll share it again because it's interesting. She was on 2 different websites, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write to this woman. So in Word, I wrote a document like, hey, it's so great to see your profile, and I love that, and I used all her same language in the reply in Word, so I could get it perfect, so that when I copied and pasted it and sent it to her on a dating site, she'd be like, oh my gosh, this is the guy I've been looking for. And it took me a week to write the perfect letter to this woman, a week of editing it, going back and forth. Finally, I went to send it, and I put my hand on my heart. I hit send, I sent it off, and nothing. She did not get back to me right away like I thought. She didn't get back to me the second day. By the third day, I'm like, you bitch. I put my heart and soul into this, and I've got like no reply. At least tell me off. At least tell me you're not interested. And the end of the third day, I got a 1-line reply back from her. And it was from Jennifer, and it said, I loved your letter. Here's my number. Give me a call. And from that point on, life has never been the same. And now Jen and I it's been over 4 years. We live together. We're engaged to get married. And she is my ultimate dream woman. And it doesn't mean that the road is always the smooth highway. There are bumps in the road, but that's what make the relationship so worthwhile, is all the ups and downs. It's like if you were to go on a roller coaster and it was flat and it just went around and around, you'd be like, this is boring. So it's got to have dips, it's got to have valleys, it's got to have corkscrews, it's got to have all of that. And so I'm so blessed to have gone through that process of asking the universe what I wanted, getting clear, dating myself, and now coming out on the other side and being able to share the story with yourself and everyone else on Facebook Live.
I love it. And yes, she's definitely the woman of his dreams. She's absolutely beautiful. I did meet her in Peru, and actually I get to see you guys next weekend, which I'm super excited about. And yeah, I love that story. I don't think a lot of people hear stories like that, because I don't think a lot of people think that they do have the ability to manifest their dream partner. But the truth is, everyone does have that capacity. It just does take a definite vision with purpose and small activities towards it, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think what I've noticed in my life is like you said, you keep attracting the same similar type person to you over and over again, because you're not going back to yourself and where you're at in your life and the love that you need to give to yourself, because ultimately no one can validate you but you. No one can fill up your cup but you. And so when you fully do that for yourself, then you can start to attract the person who's already giving to themselves fully.
Yeah.
So
You're totally right, Jessica. And I love the term you said, filling your cup, because I believe I love masculine and feminine energy. And when I say masculine,
yeah,
feminine energy, I don't mean men and women, because there are men who are masculine. There's women that are, sorry, there's women that can be masculine. There's also women that can be feminine, right? It goes kind of both ways. But
well, and we
masculine,
have both in each of us too.
exactly. And I love women, how they have the ability to give till the point where their cup isn't even like got a drop in it. And they'll still find, this energy to give and not take that time to refill back up, and till they crash. Some women will literally crash because they haven't taken the time to fill themselves up. They've given to their husband, or they've given to their friends, or they've given to their children. And I think it's so important, for women and for men, to take that time to fill up our cups consistently. Because if we don't take that time to fill up our cup, how are we going to be able to give fully to other people, to be able to support other people, if we don't take that time to fill our own cups? And whatever that looks like for you is what you need. And it may not be for somebody else. Like for me, it
Right.
was walks along the beach and going snowboarding and taking, time to buy myself flowers. Well, for somebody else, it could be reading or meditating. It could be rock concert. I don't know. There's so many different ways
Right.
of filling your cup. But to stop on a regular basis and schedule it in to fill up our cups.
Yeah, for sure. No, I've definitely been learning about that. I actually went well, I take that back. I've had a man buy me a piece of jewelry, but I went out yesterday and I bought two pieces of vibrational jewelry. It's a
Beautiful.
cognac sapphire. This is a manifesting stone and it carries a vibration. So I'm going to do a video on this, but we're all 70% water. And so we carry we take on vibrations. And so vibration is very important, what you're wearing in terms of jewelry and people you spend time with. And I went and had this session with this woman. Her name is Kate King. And it was the most powerful, actually, since Peru, it was the most powerful, emotional, beautiful experience I have had. And this isn't the first one I chose. The first one I chose was all about self-love. It's an imperial pink sapphire. And when I put the necklace on, I literally burst into tears. Like it was that powerful. And I just realized how much over this last weekend that I had been giving and giving and giving and had not been giving anything to myself and had completely lost myself and my cup was completely empty. And now 2 days later, I just feel more powerful than ever. So
That's beautiful. I love that. And
yeah,
I think it's the little things too that fill up our cups. It's
yeah,
not the trips to somewhere exotic, although they're very nice, but we can just
yeah,
do
for
little
sure.
things to appreciate and have gratitude and fill up our cups.
Well, yeah, and I think gratitude is definitely the biggest part is taking time. I just started taking time to write in my journal all the things I love about myself every day, just even just one page of what it is that you love about yourself. And it will become easier and easier and easier for you to find more things that you love.
Yeah, it's like the floodgates, they open a little bit and it starts to be a trickle. And then as you start on a regular practice of having gratitude, all of a sudden it just flows and it's an unstoppable force.
Yeah. And then you end up attracting people into your life who love those very same things about you.
Yeah, if there's one book that I could recommend to anyone who watches this video, it'd be The Dark Side of the Light Chasers by Debbie Ford.
The dark
It
side.
it is a transformational book, and it deals a lot with what we just talked about. It talks about, you're the common denominator. You attract the people into your life. So if you are getting the same type of people or the same type of situations that you go, why does this keep happening to me? Or why do I keep attracting the same kind of men? You got to say, well, what's the common denominator, right? For me, it was
Yeah.
attracting women. What was the denominator was me. And a lot of that is because if you picture yourself as emotional, like receptacles, like outlets, and what happens is the
Yeah.
universe keeps plugging the same type of people into that same receptacle. And that's usually because you haven't accepted a part of you that's the negative part that you see in others. Because when you point at other people, there's one finger pointing at them and there's three more pointing back at me.
Well, that's what I found too, is that I had been attracting emotionally unavailable men into my life. And then I had to turn around and go, wait a minute, are you emotionally available? And I'm not emotionally available to myself in a lot of ways. I don't let myself cry often. I don't, I have moments of crying, but I don't really fully embrace that part of me that really needs to let out her emotions and expel that energy. So, yeah, it's been a huge learning process there for sure. And I'm so grateful to have you as a friend, and I'm so grateful that you shared your story with us. We got a lot of comments of people just loving it, so I'm super
Awesome.
excited about
Awesome.
that.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel very grateful. When you asked me to come on the call, I love sharing my story and I love just helping other people. So, with the story, I hope some people got some insight, they got some great information. And if they want to PM me directly, Justin White, just like it sounds, Justin White. I would love to share with them. And as you mentioned, I do coaching, I do high performance coaching, and I work with Brendon Burchard and Tony Robbins. So I'm so grateful to be in that environment to be able to help and serve other people. So if I can serve anyone else on the call, I'd love to do that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who watched and anyone who's going to watch this in the future. And thank you again for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you next week in person in the flesh.
Yeah, Oregon, here we come.
Cool. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jessica. Have a great night.
You too. Tell Jen I said hello.
I will. Big hugs.
Bye.